We are awaiting AJ DeLaGarza, defender for InterMiami. He's going to join us now, so we'll have a little fun with him. We'll talk a little soccer here, and we'll have a little fun with AJ DeLaGarza. Which tomorrow, by the way, I am Bill. We're going up to St. Pete to go see the boys play their first public game ever. There's no way I'm missing that. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that when I heard about this, I go, well, wait a minute. I got to be there, man. This is our first opportunity to see our team. I want to see what they look like. And AJ DeLaGarza, defender, he's been in this league for several years. He's going to join us now so we could talk a little InterMiami. So we'll start this segment with talking a little football here on the program, which is a beautiful thing, having a little football action here. So we'll have some fun with AJ right now, and we'll talk a little football right now with AJ. Are we ready with Mr. DeLaGarza? Do we have him? All right, we are getting ready for AJ. AJ, by the way, has been in the league for several years, won a few titles with the Galaxy. You could follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. That's where I'm following him on Twitter. He is from Bryan's Road, Maryland, and also from Guam. Okay, so he obviously has been in this league for several years, has had a lot of success. So he's bringing a lot of success and experience to InterMiami.
We got AJ for you, brother.
AJ is ready to rock. AJ, welcome aboard, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, man, I am absolutely psyched. I'm going to get into the car tomorrow morning. I'm going to drive up to St. Pete to see you guys play. So how you feeling right now, man?
It's been a long coming for you guys. And me personally, I feel good. This is obviously a new team, but we have a coach who is very detailed in his style, and I just think it's great, especially from where I've come from. So I'm excited about this year for sure.
What's the hardest thing right now, AJ, in trying to find that chemistry to start the season? Because obviously you guys are still getting to know each other.
Yeah, I mean that just takes time and reps, and you can't really emulate any game situations in training. And we've had a couple obviously training games, but obviously the real tests are coming soon, and we'll learn you on the fly for sure. But we have a group of guys though who are very experienced in the league and outside of the league, so I think we are very dangerous, and that people may not know who we are early on in the season. So hopefully we catch some people off guard too.
When I go up there tomorrow in St. Pete, how are you guys playing the game? Are you still kind of working through things and figuring out lineups and those kind of things, or is it more of a team that right now is a little bit more settled than what I would even imagine? You tell me.
I think he has his guys that he pictures being in there, but obviously things change, and everyone's still finding their spot and their groove of things, and it's still a work in progress, but we're a team that wants to play out of everything, so we want to play attractive football and moving the ball and be a team that has the ball, and when we lose that ball, we counter press and really get after teams.
AJ DeLaGarza joining us here on the Big O Show, and of course you can catch him on the field, on the pitch tomorrow, taking on Philadelphia. Follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. AJ, you can tell that the way they structured the roster, there's young guys and then there's veterans with a lot of experience to kind of be the guys that guide here. You and Will Trapp and Robles, and I could just go on, but there's a group of guys, and what's the responsibility for you guys as the elder statesmen on the team?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that have won in this league, whether it be Open Cup, Supporter Shield, MLS Cup. So for the older guys, just guide the younger players along, and even the guys from outside of MLS, just making sure they adapt well into the league and kind of understand how this league is different than the leagues they've come from.
What is different to you from the MLS that some of the guys have to adjust to?
It could be a lot more physical than other leagues, and where some guys come from South America, where it's maybe more technical. Here you gotta kind of dig your foot into the ground sometimes and grind out a win. Sometimes it might not be pretty, but that's just how this league is. And if you want to reach your end goal at the end of the year, there's going to be some dirty games. So I think just the physicality of things.
All right, AJ. So who's the guy that's leading in the pranks? Who's the guy playing jokes on everybody in the locker room right now? Who's the guy you can't trust?
Lee Win, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Every time he says something, we know he's lying. So.
All right, so he's just full of like all kinds of whoppers, like stories that are just whoppers, or is he physically playing jokes on anybody out there?
No physical jokes, just a bunch of lying fibs. You could say he likes to talk out of his butt.
Okay, all right. No, yeah. That saying always sounds better in Spanish, but yeah, no, I got you. I got you. So give me some of the whoppers that Lee has laid on you guys.
Oh man, I can't even tell you, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not for family purposes right now. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's gotta stay in.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm just kidding.
So he's telling.
I just don't remember. Literally anything he ever says is just a lie.
Right. So he's telling you that he's banging Halle Berry on the side or something like that, right? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, not like that, but he could make that up too.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. So, is there a guy out there playing the physical jokes on people out there? Because I know the veterans got to do something to the young guys. You know what I mean? Kind of break them in a little bit.
Yeah. Nothing physical. Sometimes I slap Dylan Nealis on the back of his neck. Sometimes, as he's sitting right in front of me right now and smiling. So. Nothing too physical. Just, I guess if you lose in soccer tennis, you got to go butts up in the goal, and everyone gets to kick a soccer ball at you. So that's probably the only physical thing we have here.
Well, AJ, I got some spy reports that say that the chemistry. Okay, maybe you guys are kind of figuring everything out on the pitch, which is normal at this point. You guys are probably not going to figure each other out till halfway through the season. But my point is, I hear the chemistry off the pitch is fantastic, that guys are really getting along and hanging with each other and having fun. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. We're all in a hotel together for the last 4 weeks, so it's almost forced, but then at the same time you have free time and guys still want to hang out with each other and go to dinners and all that stuff. So this is where it has to start, really, in the hotels, and then that'll translate onto the pitch. And then obviously over time, building that chemistry and on the pitch will obviously take games.
All right, you didn't get nailed with a snorer in your room, right? Somebody just that kind of stuff. Is that happening at all in your room?
I've heard of Lee Wynn snoring, but I have a roommate right now. So.
Okay, all right.
I've had some good roommates, though.
All right, but you and I know Lee is really lying about snoring. He's just snoring, fake snoring. You know what I'm saying?
Just making it up, yeah.
Right.
I don't even know if it's real.
Right, exactly. All right, so you got Philadelphia tomorrow. You're an MLS veteran. Walk us rookies through this league. What do we expect from Philadelphia tomorrow? When I see you on the pitch tomorrow, what am I expecting from Philadelphia against you guys?
Oh man, I think there's been so much turnover in this league. I'm not even sure. Yeah, but no, I know they have obviously Bedoya and the work rate he has and how effective he is and the leader of that team. But they've lost quite a few guys, and Fafa Pico and Trusty in the central defense, and but they still have a lot of veterans and very skillful guys like El Seno, probably one of the most skillful guys in the league. So a team that did really well last year. And I'm not too sure how they'll look this year yet. But obviously we're in preseason, so we're figuring everyone else out. And I haven't really had a scouting report on them too much yet.
AJ, something that's got to go through your mind like the rest of us, the owner of your team, his name is, well, besides Jorge Mas, but I'm talking about David Beckham. Is there a part of you that when you see him, you say, like, how in the hell did the good Lord give him all the damn looks, and what happened to me? You know, that kind of stuff. Is there any part of you that says that when you see David Beckham walk by?
Nah, because I played with him for 4 years, so I saw him. I saw him when he was younger too. So we're obviously in different roles now, and just excited to be back with him, and obviously have him or have me represent him in this team.
So what's the exciting part for you of being able to be not just with Beckham, but be here in Miami with InterMiami and starting this right now? What's the exciting part about it for you?
I think you can ask any player. This is, if everyone could come here, they would. So that's the first thing. And then you have the facilities and the ownership that's going to give you everything possible to achieve your goals. I think that's really hard to pass up. And now at the end of my career, all I want to do is win and be on a winning team and enjoy where I'm playing. And I think South Florida is going to be a special place for that, just from the facilities and the fan base that's already been built, and we haven't even played our first game. So, looking forward to this year for sure.
Yeah, I think it's got to be exciting for you. And I know that you've when you say everybody wants to come here, is there a little oomph to what you guys are doing? Because I think out of all the MLS teams, and I know this team just started, but because of David, I think you have the bigger international brand in this country. When it comes to all the MLS teams, I think your team is the one that's going to cross the ponds, and people are going to pick it up a little bit more than all the other teams. Do you guys sense that too?
Yeah, I think you do. And then, of course, you have an owner who's more famous than any player I've actually hit. So, and obviously an ambassador for football in South Florida, and building his team. And you've seen that he's connected through FaceTime with a couple guys, and maybe can convince Pizarro a little bit to come here. So, obviously a guy that is well respected in the game, and who wouldn't want to come to South Florida and Miami and play for him and his team.
That's going to be awesome. AJ, I'll let you go with this. AJ DeLaGarza, defender for InterMiami. Follow him on Twitter at AJD_20. You've won a few MLS titles, but you also won the U.S. Open Cup in 2018 with Houston. I'm just wondering, because those are the two biggest soccer titles in this country, outside of obviously winning the World Cup. But what's the difference? Because both have to be a great feeling to accomplish both, because going through the U.S. Open Cup, I mean, you're all the teams in the country are in it, so it's like an FA Cup. What's the difference as a player when you're celebrating those two titles?
I think obviously the MLS Cup is what everyone wants at the end of the year, and obviously the U.S. Open Cup gets you in the Champions League, though, so put your team on an international stage. But I think if anyone could pick one, they're picking MLS Cup any day of the week, because Open Cup is sometimes for MLS teams it's a lose-lose situation, to be honest. Like, you're playing USL teams or amateur teams, or even amateur teams, and then you're expected to win those games. So when you win, they're like, okay, you're expected to win, whatever. And then if you lose those games, they make a huge deal out of it. So it's a lose-lose situation there. But yeah, you got to perform and do well, because it's a knockout stages, just like MLS Cup is now. But it's just in the middle of the season, and I think most teams use their second team for most games, and until they make it well into the U.S. Open Cup. But I think I'll take many more MLS Cups if I could.
No doubt about it. I can imagine, but it's got to be a pretty cool thing to win the U.S. Open Cup because of all you got to go through, and
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
it's got to be pretty special because it takes a couple months to kind of get that
Yeah.
whole thing done. So it's pretty special. AJ, hey, thank you for taking some time, my man. I look forward to seeing you guys take the pitch tomorrow, and maybe we'll track you down a little bit tomorrow. Appreciate that,
Yeah.
man.
All right, guys. You have a good one.
You got it,
Safe
baby.
travels.
Be good. Thank you. You got it. AJ DeLaGarza, defender for InterMiami, which I guarantee you we're the first people to have an InterMiami player on, period. I don't think any other English outlet on radio or us. No dice. They definitely have not had that there. So that's pretty cool, AJ. Joining us on the program here. And I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, man. That's going to be a lot of fun.